circa 2020, is being made available for auction and will be offered in appreciation to whoever donates the highest amount. The proceeds from the auction will go towards relief efforts, towards Isha's COVID-19 relief efforts in nearby rural areas. Over the last several months, Isha volunteers have helped protect lakhs of people in the villages surrounding Isha Yoga Center through COVID relief and preventive and protective measures. To those in need, so that nobody gets affected by starvation in these challenging times, the volunteers have made and served several lakhs meals. Protective kits have been offered to tens of thousands of frontline and healthcare workers. These efforts are a commitment of our volunteers to minimize the suffering of those affected in these challenging times. And it is also an expression of our gratitude to the COVID warriors working relentlessly through these times. The relief effort is still on in full swing. The scale of task is huge. Any support towards this will be deeply appreciated. No effort, no support is small in any way. We request each one of you, those of you watching us online and here, in whatever way you can support these relief efforts, please see whatever is possible for you. We'd also like to thank all those people who have already made their contributions towards reaching out to making sure that these challenging times do not take their toll on the vulnerable communities.
Kalo na janati tava jananam Kalo na janati tava samapanam Drushto maya tava Mahakara Yogeshwara Kala Kala Yogeshwara Kala Kala Namaskaram. Namaskaram to every one of you, wherever you are. Well, I know many of you would have wanted to be here today, but well, there's a clear demonstration of the times in which we are. 2020 are very unique year in many ways. Been a challenge for this generation of people, unlike anything that they might have faced in the last 50, 100 years, 50 years at least. It's not like a war, it's not like a natural calamity, nor is it like a famine or drought, very different. Demanding a certain discipline from individual human beings. Taken a toll, nearly 2 million people have lost their lives. Many people have lost their loved ones. Businesses have been shut down in thousands across the world, probably millions. People have lost their livelihoods. Above all, they don't know what is tomorrow. What should they plan? What should they do? Not spared anyone, including us. But we should never waste a challenging situation. If a situation becomes challenging anytime, we must rise, make ourselves bigger than the challenge. That's the only way. We must see it as an opportunity where we can't sit on our backsides, we got to be on our toes. Not very comfortable, but definitely taller. That's how life happens. Many generations of people have passed their life in reasonable comfort, but a few generations have faced immense challenges. But it's only those generations which face these challenges that we know about, because it's about them. That stuff was written in history books. Those who lived comfortably, did you ever read in the history book, this many people lived very comfortably in this society? So it's not about we want to enter the history books, I'm saying human life can be made very significant, particularly when there are challenging situations. This is one like that. As individuals, as communities and societies, as nations, and as a humanity, this is an opportunity to rise. We were only thinking of rise means, till now, we were only thinking GDP, GDP, GDP. How to increase our income endlessly. And anyway, as you increase your income, more and more shopping malls are coming right next to your neighborhood. One walk, your monthly salary is over. Things are getting more and more expensive. You have enough stuff that your house is no more enough, you need a warehouse. Yes, a lot of you are getting there. So it's time that No, Sadhguru, I'm shopping much more these days on online shopping. At least I had to walk before, now I don't have to walk either. I can just type and it comes. No, this is not… yes, what you need you can buy online, that's not the point. But as human beings, as a generation of people, we definitely are consuming more than any other generation ever. We can't completely go back by a century. That will hurt us. That will hurt so many things, including the economy and the nation's well-being and the world's well-being. But no harm in stepping back a little bit. No harm in stepping back a little bit. The new year is coming. Only human beings are thinking so. I've been listening to the crickets and frogs and birds. Nobody's talking about the new year. Only human beings, because they believe if they don't scream, yell, make noise, get drunk and puke, 2020 will not go away, it will come. That's not the nature of time. If you sleep, it'll go. If you wake up, it'll go. If you work, it'll go. If you laze around, it'll go. Do whatever the hell, it'll go. And you should not forget, one major element of your life is time. So we want to mark it so that we have some sense of where we're going. I didn't celebrate my birthdays, all my life. So I still don't know what's my age, I still think I'm 25. It's a problem, I never celebrated my birthdays. I wouldn't even know it's my birthday today, somewhere. Those days there were no phones, I would be lost somewhere. And somewhere through somebody, they would call and try to get me. My mother would try to get me and remind, today is birthday, you have oil bath, you eat some sweet. Only the last few years, wherever I go, people are reminding me. So, they are interested that I count my years and I get old. But I never counted. Because I didn't count, it looks like nowhere it took account. I didn't keep accounts in my mind, so the accounts did not sink into my body either. So time is an important fiber of our existence. In this we do many things. But many people are today very frustrated because there is curfew in many cities, night curfew or Section 144. Even in European cities, in UK, some cities in United States, no parties. Above all, bars are closed. I have my unlimited supply from within, so I'm okay. But people who buy in small containers, they're all crying. This happened a few hours from now, this happened. Around 1:30 a.m., Shankaran Pillai was walking on the street. Somehow he found his supply. Going home, The policeman saw his unsteady gait and he said, "Hey, at this hour in the morning, where are you going?" Shankaran Pillai said, "I'm going for a lecture." The police said, "What? At this time, at 1:30 in the morning, you're going for a lecture? Who will give you a lecture at this hour?" "Oh, you don't know my wife." Any time of the day or night, when I get home, I'll get a lecture. So I'm going for the lecture. So, some of you who wanted to come, if you tried to come to the satsang in the middle of the night, and if somebody stops you and say, "I'm going to satsang," nobody is going to believe you. That's why it's best online. On the New Year's Eve, at 11 o'clock, you're going somewhere, the police stop you and ask, "Where are you going?" You say, "I'm going for satsang." It's not going to fly. So that's why I made it online, okay, for all of you, so that you shouldn't have any trouble on the street. People measure their years in terms of wealth, in terms of success, in terms of relationships, or in terms of ailments. Or some people who are very miserable have been counting hours and minutes how to pass this year. In life, the sheer process of activity, we develop many bonds with people, with things that we do, our activity, even the things that we use, we develop bonds. But many bonds which started off wonderfully become bondages over a period of time. Why does anybody need bloody liberation? Because they're binding themselves crazy. Hello? If you don't bind yourself, why do you need to be liberated? "No, no, Sadhguru, I want mukti." But why? Why are you in this state where you are bound to all kinds of things? Whether it's your thought, your emotion, your relationships, your work, your home, your wealth, everything binds you. Everything that you create for your well-being, unfortunately binds you. Initially, it looks like well-being, after some time it's a big burden to carry. This is happening all over the place. Recently, someone came to me. I know both these people. They thought their love affair is the most spectacular love affair about 5.5 years ago. Now they came to me, "Sadhguru, can we separate without killing each other?" Then I did whatever and I also wrote a poem for them. Can we put it up on the screen? Of bonds and bondage. Beautiful bonds of love turn into ugly bondage, not because of someone turning ugly or treacherous or plain evil. When you try to bend the beautiful bond to tilt in your favor, when you started thinking, "What is my takeaway?" you took away the beauty and turned a tango into a transaction. Transactions could have brought profits, but reaped poison within. turning the beautiful bond into bondage. I hear more clapping from this side than this side. No, it's a natural response. Instigated clapping is not good. But if we are thinking of gaining in this life, you will see 1 year is profit, another year may be loss, or maybe 10 years is profit, next year is loss. The problem with this loss is, even for 25 years continuously you've been a success, 1 year if you fail, you're still miserable. Actually more miserable than others because you've gotten used to success. So, what is this gain and loss? For somebody whose time is ticking away, which is what December 31st means, it's reminding you, one more year of your life is gone. If you do not understand that, it means you must book your crematorium date 1 year ahead. 1 year gone. Hello? Whatever your age right now, let's say if you're 50, at least 50 years later in the Isha crematorium, book it up now. Because who knows, 50 years later when you die, nobody may want to do anything with you, we will take care of it. 100 years, okay, no? Hello? If you're 30, 70 years later, book it up. Our bookings are all like that these days, programs are getting booked up all 2 years, 3 years ahead. So you better be ready, I'm saying. This one program, because everybody is going to come. Hello? You may come to the Bhava Spandana or not, you may come to the Samyama or not, you may come to Anadi or not, but you are coming to our crematorium program for sure. Hello? Yes. So we need to understand, when we have a limited amount of time, the silly way we're going about as if we're immortal all the time, I think this is a very good time that way. This virus is a reminder. All of you masked up like this because it's a reminder. If I as much as open this and breathe, I may die. It's a good reminder. It's unfortunate that such a simple truth about life has to be rubbed into us so badly that we can't get it ourselves. So, passing of a year is significant only in our mind. Mother Earth is not counting it that way. None of the other creatures are counting it that way. And those of you who have heavenly connections, you know even there they're not counting it that way. So it's only in the human mind. Why is it significant in the human mind? Because the time that we have is limited. That's why we have to count. See, when you have very little money, you count carefully like this. You have a lot of money, isn't it? Yes. You have very little time, so you have to count. Because if you throw away 1 year, we don't know how many more you have. So, this is important in human mind, to keep track of time. That time is passing is a good reminder. Especially this year has been an extraordinary reminder, painful reminder, To many, many people, unfortunately, disastrous reminder. But as a generation of people, we must take this up, we must take this on and make a significant difference in our lives when a situation like this has come. This is not… as I said, this is not like a war or a famine or a natural calamity where you have no choice, you simply die. If somebody bombs you, you just die. If a big wave comes, you die. If an earthquake happens, you just die. No choice. Here, there is an element of choice. This is what we must exercise. It is in exercising this choice that you become human. Because no other creature has this choice. They all instinctively respond. A human being can consciously respond. If you do not exercise that choice, what is lost is humanity. It's a very big thing. Because as a life, yesterday I was speaking to somebody in another country and I was just telling them, see, as a life, as evolutionary process, we are on top of the pile. But how come human beings don't feel like they're on top of the world? Hello? If you are an ant crawling in Adiyogi alayam, I can understand. You can cry, I'm so small, these people are so big, they got cushions, I don't have nothing, you know. And this guru talks some language we don't understand. All these things you would have if you were an ant. But you're a human being, on top of the evolutionary pile, really top of the world, isn't it? Huh? Really top of the world or no? Sadhguru, they've banned all the party, Sadhguru. You're supposed to be on top of the world. But you think there is something wrong with that? If there was no virus in 2020, you think everybody would be bursting in ecstasy? Hello? No. They would be complaining about no virus. Something. So, you know, this happened to me some time ago, but I just wrote this just a few days ago. It's called my loss. Loss. This is a good year to talk about loss because everybody has lost something. When I lost all that I was… when I lost all that was me, when I lost all that was me, when I lost all that I had, the very basis of my life, all thought I had found, and they gather around to relish in my loss. And they gather around to relish in my loss, to listen to my emptiness, bereft of a soul or self, just an echo. So, loss can be fantastic if you're willing to lose all of it. Because people want to become free, but they want to go free with baggage. That's their idea of freedom. They want to be free, but they want baggage on their head. No, free means throw the baggage, right? What comes with us anyway. This happened, I've told you this to you long time ago maybe. Once it happened, Shankaran Pillai got into the train with a big sack on his head. He went and sat down in his seat. Indian Railways, dagga, 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 it's going. Not today, it's many years ago. But the sack was still on his head, he held it like this, and people who were sitting around, their necks started hurting. They said, "Please, sir, why don't you put that sack down?" He said, "No, no, it's okay." Then after some time, they got really painful for everybody. They said, "Please put it down, why are you sitting with this sack on? If there's something precious in this, put it down and sit on it, that's safer." He said, "No, no, nothing precious, just clothes." Then why are you doing this? Well, he said, I don't wish to burden the train." Very good man. If you put it down there also, it will come with you anyway. This is the nature of your karma. If you put it there also, it will come with you. If you throw it there also, anyway it will come with you. You don't have to carry it on your head. So don't carry 2020 on your head, it will anyway come. As I said, Mother Earth doesn't think the year is over. She is just happily spinning and going. You think she's counting? She's not counting. Well, the way we are living, other animals, other creatures are counting how many less human beings, unfortunately. So this is a time to wake up on many levels. But there is a possibility of serious damage because everybody is like holding back. When the virus goes away, they want to burst out and do 1,000 things in mad frenzy. When there was a very serious ecological situation unfolding in the next, probably in the next decade, which every scientific study points out to, that there are situations which could go completely out of control, many things may become irreversible, many species of lives may be lost for good. All this is staring in our face. This is a time when some conscious action should have come forth. But unfortunately, the virus has come. Now everybody is only concerned about their own individual survival, their family's survival, understandable, their business survival and everything. But now the danger is, if the virus goes away, doesn't look like it's going away in a hurry, but if it goes away, then everybody wants to get back into mad frenzy of activity, do 10 times what we would have done in 2020. And ecological concerns, you cannot even open your mouth because all these people, frustrations amalgamated, they will burst into activity. This is something we need to temper, a very difficult thing to do, because now you cannot even utter the word ecology. Nobody is willing to listen. Everybody is talking about their business survival, their economic survival, their stuff. So, this is a tremendous situation. How we deal with it as human beings is left to us. I hope we will deal with it consciously, with responsible action, because ultimately, so many things, every scientist and doctor in the world talking so many things, in the end they're coming back to conscious and responsible behavior. Hello? That's all. Because that's the only answer for anything in your life. If you want to transform you inside or outside, the only thing left with a human being, the only thing that a human being has a unique privilege of compared to every other creature is conscious, responsible action. So this possibility of what we can do in 2021, it's a tremendous possibility because as a generation, though initially we were confused a little bit, many people, some crying happened. Now we slowly bouncing back to be more resilient, at least in India, big time. We are showing a certain streak of resilience and very innovative way of survival and prosperity. Unfortunately, certain countries are more hit than the others. Most developed nations are having a tough time managing, but we as a nation, we have managed this quite well. I think probably we've managed this considering the size and density of our population, probably we've done the best in the world. I think today's death toll in the country because of the virus is around 350 or 60, 350, just 350 or 60. Today the death toll in United States, unfortunately, is around 3,800, at quarter the population of what we have. So, for a nation where population is packed together like this, very high concentration of population almost everywhere, I think we've done a fantastic job. Well, it's taken a little bit of push and pull and, little bit of beating people have taken, but on the whole, they have responded in a phenomenal way. The government machinery from top to bottom, we never thought that the state governments would have this kind of… would be able to kick up this kind of infrastructure to do contact tracing, Just now, 8–10 days ago, someone came back from United States and she flew from Chicago to Delhi and then to Chennai. One person who came on that Chicago-Delhi flight tested positive. This person is in Chennai. On the third day, people came and knocked on her door. You need to go through a test. I'm saying that's fantastic for a country like this. This kind of contact tracing is not happening anywhere. This contact tracing is simply not happening in any other country. I was in United States, there's no such process. People are simply going where they want and they're paying the price, unfortunately. So, we've done well in that sense. There is pain, no question. And more than the number of virus deaths, there are also a whole lot of other collateral deaths. Many who needed treatment, many who had to go to hospital with emergencies could not go because hospitals were totally virus dedicated or they were fearful of going there. Too many people have died without the treatment that they needed. So, there is pain. But the important thing to understand is, we can't fix an yesterday, but we can fix the tomorrow. That's why the advent of the new year is important, because we can fix the tomorrow. Well, tomorrow fixing the new year means people are always thinking of taking a new year resolution. Hey, what is this? I will do this in the new year, I'll do that in the new year. It lasts till noon time on first. For more determined ones, it lasts a few few days, at most give up by the end of January. New Year resolution is forgotten because it's old. The year is already month old, how can you talk about New Year resolution? That was over. That was only when it was new, mint new. So, these New Year resolutions, it once happened. Shankaran Pillai took a New Year resolution that I'll quit smoking. He told everybody that he knows, I'm quitting smoking. So, on the first evening, many people have this, what is called as recovery parties. They woke up at 12 noon, now they have to recover from the party, so there's a recovery party. There are people who are experts in suggesting for the recovery, what kind of drinks you must have. So he went to that party and then he asked one of his friends, give me a cigarette. He said, oh, I thought you quit. He said, I have. Just this is the first phase. I said, what do you mean by that? What is the first phase? He says, I've quit buying. Phase by phase implementation, So, various things. So, people always asking me, Sadhguru, what about the New Year resolution? What should we take? And I've taken many times and it didn't work, so what should I do? You should not take any New Year resolutions. Because you cannot decide what you will do considering a particular date. If you want to make some change in your life, let's say something has to change. Let's say you want to quit smoking or you want to quit picking your nose. No, I'm saying this because I was in conversation with some top psychiatrists in UK, and they told me nose picking is one of the classified ailments in psychiatry, nose picking. See, now you can't even get to it, You are masked, you can't even get to it anymore. After they put that swab and did this to you, you don't want to put your hand anywhere near that anymore So, whatever you wanted to quit, you don't have to quit something. All you have to do is, you must move from compulsive behavior to a conscious behavior. If you have to become conscious, you must be in a certain sense of exuberance within you, certain joy within you. Have you noticed when you're happy, you can forego many compulsions, You're very happy, normally you sit only in that place. You're very happy, somebody pushes you, it's okay, When you're unhappy, can we push you? When you're unhappy, if we push you, you're like a bomb, you'll explode. When you're happy, we can push you around. That's why I keep people happy. Because when they're happy, you can push them around, it's okay. Nothing is absolute, everything is okay. When they're unhappy, they're behaving like concrete blocks. They can only be like this. So, what you need is not a resolution, forcefully changing something. What you need is consciousness. How do I get there? Well, you need to work on enhancing your energy to a higher level of exuberance. If you're a little more exuberant, you'll naturally be conscious. If your experience of life is very pleasant, you will be conscious. If it's unpleasant, no, oh Sadhguru, yes, what you're saying is correct, Sadhguru. My husband is so unpleasant, that's why I'm… No, I'm not talking about outside situation being whatever the hell it is. I'm talking about your insides are unpleasant. When you're unpleasant, you cannot change. Not willing to change. That is the tragedy of life. When you're unpleasant, you must change, isn't it? But unfortunately, that's not how life works. When you're unpleasant, you are not willing to change. Only when you're pleasant, you're willing to change. Have you noticed this? Unpleasant people should change, but no, they won't. Because unpleasantness means you are crippling yourself. Unconsciousness means you're crippling yourself, isn't it? So when you're crippled, if I ask you to run, how do you run? You will not. To run, everything must be well, then only you can run, then only you can move. So right now, this is what it is about. Well, we are marking a year because this is our way of keeping count when I should book up the Isha Kayanta Sthanam. No. Some of you are thinking when you should get married, some of you are thinking when I should get a job, some of you are thinking when I should go for further education, some of you may be fixing a date when you should get enlightened. No. But admission to a university or a PhD or enlightenment or marriage may happen, may not happen. One certainty, at least I said, that at least you book it up. If you booked it up, really, book it up 100 years later, I don't care. But if you book it up, you know you have limited amount of time. That's important. It is very important. We are always talking about asato ma sadgamaya. That is moving from untruth to truth. This is a fundamental way of understanding this. The untruth is you're immortal. The truth is you're mortal. Hello? Is that okay? Sadhguru, New Year is coming, why are you rubbing this death into us? We already bought your book also, why are you… This is because you read the book, but you did not read the bottom line there. This is a book only for those who shall die. You missed the bottom line. This is the most important thing. This is not a morbid fascination about death. If you want to live, you must be conscious that you have a limited amount of time. Every day, every moment, if you're conscious, you will make the best out of this one. If you think there is lot of time, or if you think there is endless amount of time, then you will languish. That's all. So I'm not talking about death, I'm talking about you reaching the finish line, you know, breasting the tape. Hello? If you're running a race, what is the peak? When the tape touched you. Final line is the most important thing if you're racing, isn't it? Why racing? Anything that you're doing, whatever you're doing, when you complete it, is the pinnacle, isn't it? Whether it's a small job or education, big things, whatever you're doing, completion is important. But if you think you're on an endless project, then you will be disappointed. Well, everybody around you also will be disappointed with you. Yes, it's important that we know we have a limited amount of time. Then we will manage our energies, our intelligence, our capabilities in a way that it will produce maximum profoundness of experience and maximum impact in the world, both ways. These are the only two things you have. Profoundness of experience when it comes to experiencing, when it comes to activity, impact. That's all. There's nothing else to life. No, Sadhguru, I'm in love with my neighborhood girl. Ah, this is what is your idea of profoundness experience, she will teach you the lesson enough. It's all right, nothing wrong with anything, but we must understand what is what, which takes us where, which lasts how long. We must know, isn't it? Hello? Hello? We must know, this is what asato ma sadgamaya means for you. You must understand, you should not live in make-believe. You come to the realities of life, learn to conduct it properly. So everybody was asking me, Sadhguru, you must do a New Year message, New Year message. People are beginning to think, is Sadhguru somehow morbid fascination with death? No, I'm just reminding you that if you do not know that there is a time when your life will be suspended, then you will not live. I have a fascination with life. I would like to see not a single moment of your life goes waste. Either every moment should be used to enhance the profoundness of your life or to create impact in the world. Any one of these things must be happening. If both these things are not happening, you're already dead. Hello? So my fascination is not about death, my fascination is about life. And life can only happen in any significant way only with these two things: profoundness of your experience, impactfulness of your activity. That's all there is. There's nothing else. Rest is all drama. All the drama you do is only seeking profoundness of experience, isn't it? Or maybe you're trying to make an impact on somebody. It's called time-space. Years pass by, bodies born and die, people cry and laugh, some love and hate. Ruthless time rolls on without a footprint in the scape of time-space. Happy New Year, huh? I'll read this again, it looks like it went by. Oh, it's out there, so please read it. Years pass by, bodies born and die, people cry and laugh, some love and hate. Ruthless time rolls on without a footprint in the scape of time-space. Happy New Year, okay? Because I believe in doing everything little in advance, a few hours ahead, I've already said it, so don't jump and scream at that moment, okay? Please, if you have any questions.
Namaskaram, Sadhguru. This question is from Dhananjay from Delhi. I have been participating in the Mahashivaratri festival at the ashram for the last 3 years, but this year I am unable to come because of the pandemic. Can you please guide me on how I can receive the grace of Adiyogi in 2021 without being in his presence? Is there a tool or sadhana that I can make use of?
All these things must be on the website. There's something called as Shivanga sadhana, which is a powerful way of connecting with this grace. Anyway, physical presence has its, has its own significance. But if your interest is receiving grace, wherever you are, it's possible. So this time, largely, this Mahashivaratri will be largely online. That means you don't have to take the trouble of traveling. We will come to you in so many different ways, and please be available, please explore the Shivanga sadhana. And also this time, we are giving out a certain instrument of grace. This is a certain consecrated Rudraksh bead. There is a significance to this. I don't want I don't want you to think there is some gender issue in this, but there is a significance to this. There are many aspects to this. One thing is it has a unique reverberation. Another thing is it'll be consecrated here, so it'll become an instrument of grace. But it is also symbolism. The idea of wearing Rudraksh, the ascetics always wore Rudraksh because of all the creatures on this planet, from the virus to the bacteria, all the microbes, the worms, insects, plants, trees, birds, animals, none of them can consciously decide whether to reproduce or not. It just happens. If the seed falls out, another sapling rises, that becomes another tree. So, nobody can decide whether to reproduce or not. The only creature who has this power is to hold back the seed and not reproduce, but consciously, is the human being. I'm saying it is possible. Whether all human beings are capable or not is another matter, because the evolutionary process is a slow process, It's not like on one day, tuck, it's done. It's happening still for some. So Rudraksh bead is symbol of that. The Shiva or the Adiyogi is represented by this in many ways because this is a symbol of conscious choice, that you decide. The base processes of life, of eating, reproductive nature, sleeping, all these things you decide. Because once you take these things in your hands, your freedom of life is complete. If food, drink, excretion, reproduction and sleep, if these 5 things come into your hands, conscious hands, it's done, life, everything is free. So, Rudraksh bead represents that dimension, that you have chosen to become a conscious human being. It has its health and other benefits, that's a different matter. But one simple thing that you're telling yourself and everybody is, when I wear Rudraksh, I am a conscious being. I've decided. What is a compulsive activity for every other creature on this planet? For me, it is a conscious process. So, a Rudraksh bead which is consecrated in a certain way, which is… will be on Adiyogi for some time. Probably we will be giving out a few million Rudraksh, free of cost. It's going to cost us a lot in this, particularly in this with 2020 behind us, that the foundation is sitting here without any revenue, but we are committed to doing this, or we will make it like pay as you can. People can pay if they wish to pay, otherwise they can take it, because we do not want to make spiritual aspects related to money. Money is for services, to build the buildings, to provide you lighting, to provide you sound, to provide you all this, money is needed. Spiritual process, they're not paying me anything, do you know this? Even my paintings they're selling, they're not giving me 1 paisa. I'm working through the night because they don't give me daytime to paint. I'm working through the night to make the paintings, but they don't pay me. It's okay because I decided not to make profit in my life because as I think I read in that my loss or the other one, I have a tango going, not a transaction. I have a tango both with Adiyogi and you, so no transaction, all right? For the spiritual element, there's no transaction. I heard all the Tamil people, you know what is tango? Tenga illa, tango. என்னமோ சத்குரு நமக்கு தேங்காய் பண்றாங்களா? So I have a tango with you, so there is no transaction. Transactions are only for other things to be done. So this Rudraksh will be coming with a few other things, and these millions of Rudraksh will be mailed, so there is a cost to that. So when you get the Rudraksh, pay as you can, okay? You can pay for yourself, or if you want another 100 people to have these Rudraksh, you can pay for them. It's some minimal amount. What it costs is about 15 rupees probably, including the postage, I don't know how much. What is it? Somebody knows? Huh? 25? Whatever, you pay as you can. It's not a transaction. So maybe 15 to 25 rupees because of they're using the courier these days. So because of that, otherwise it would be cheaper. Outside the country it may be a little more expensive, but it's going out free. I want you to be conscious, it's paid for by somebody else. So this will be available, please make use of this Rudraksh. This will be a powerful instrument in your life to be accessible to grace of Adiyogi, because you should know already, Rudraksh is considered, or Rudraksh is supposed to have, the legend says, Rudraksh is actually the tears of Shiva. So Shiva sat in a meditative state for a very long time. Everybody thought he is dead because he was completely unmoving. It looks like there was no breath, there was no nothing. But off and on, tears of ecstasy dribbled out of his eye. That was the only sign of life that he showed, that there was an ecstasy that he could not control, which made him absolutely still. At the same time, once in a way, tears of ecstasy dribbled down. These teardrops fell on the planet or on the ground or in the earth and became Rudraksh. That is what Rudra's Aksha means. These are Shiva's teardrops. So this is an opportunity, this Mahashivaratri, for you to soak in the tears of Shiva, tears of ecstasy, not of misery. I think that you need that from now on in your life, 2021 resolution, no, not like that. From now from now on, if at all if tears come, they must be tears of love or joy or blissfulness or ecstasy. Tears of anger, tears of frustration, tears of fear, tears of misery, you must ban them. Huh? Hello? Band. At least as Indians, we know how to do a bandh. Hello? Shall we do the bandh? No tears of misery, no tears of frustration, no tears of anger, no tears of other kinds of, unpleasant things. Only tears of joy, love and ecstasy, huh? Question.
This question is from Chandrasekhar. Namaskaram, Sadhguru. Around 10 days back, there was another series of vitriol from certain people on social media against you, criticizing your comment on the volume of food an average adult eats in his lifetime. I also saw a response from Isha Foundation to trolls, which I thought was very strong and uncharacteristic of Isha. My question is whether it is appropriate for a spiritual organization to react to such trolls, however vitriolic.
How did they respond? I'm not following all the foundation tweets. How did they respond? What did they say? Abusive?
The tweet was, instead of 14,000 kilograms, Sadhguru misspoke and said 1,400 tons. It was a mistake from a video from many years ago, where the content is not about the volume of food anyway, but the amount of filth in your head you must be eating, more than 1,400 tons for sure and what.
Who is sending out such tweets? Huh? Ma, you? Oh, look at the ma. Ma, you made the tweet? No, don't worry, ma, I'm just out to congratulate you. Because a lot of people have this expectation. A spiritual organization means it must be wimpy, without any nerve, to stand up in the world and do anything worthwhile. Simply I'm glad this little ma I generally find Isha Foundation's responses very wimpy, I don't like it. So I don't look at it. If this kind of spice is coming, I'm going to read it from now on. Well, you need to understand this. Whoever is talking about this, about saying, oh, can a foundation, spiritual organization respond like this? I don't know where you come from. Because obviously you have some imported sense of spirituality, which is just about wimp. In this culture, Shiva, look at the man. Hello? Does he look wimpy to you? He's carrying a weapon in his hand. You see Rama, a gentle human being, still always a weapon in his hand. You think he's carrying it for decoration? He won't simply go and kill somebody, but if somebody provokes him enough, he will. He will, yes or no? Krishna, you know him only battlefield scenes, only you know him, always in the battlefield only, all calendars. So obviously you know about Krishna and Shishupala, this is an ideal situation for that. There was one Shishupala, in an assembly of people, he went on insulting Krishna, abusing. So Krishna said, see, you said too much. You're nearing 99. 99 insults you put. If you cross 99 and become 100, I will not keep quiet, I'll take your head off. But that guy doesn't stop. He says the 100th thing. So Krishna just takes his head off. Hello? I'm saying in this country, all the people you worship, they are not wimpy, these kind of people. That's you're imported from elsewhere. Here, we are not unnecessarily looking for a fight with anybody. That's not our idea of life. But if you're throwing filth on us, we will wait, we will make manure out of it and throw it back at you, hoping right? Hoping you will also blossom one day. So, this is not even… never the foundation should abuse anybody, okay? Please don't take this as a license. Foundation should never ever abuse anyone because that's not what we are here for. But little sarcasm won't hurt anybody and it's needed in the world. She just asked, what are you eating, obviously. Even I have a doubt. Because I really have a doubt what these people are eating. Day in and day out, filth is coming out of their mouth all the time. What are they eating and how much? This is a question in my mind also. I'm glad this little ma… I'm saying little ma because she's only what ma, 4 feet 2 inches ma? She's little more than that. I want you to understand, in this culture, spirituality did not mean simply being like this. Just look back and see. Everybody that I mentioned, or in more recent times you look back and see there is a Guru Govind Singh who created a whole militant race, okay? It once happened, Vivekananda was traveling back. After his American sojourn, he was coming back through UK and Europe. On the ship, those days they're traveling by the sea, there were some small-time missionaries going to India for their own work. And they went on abusing because they knew Vivekananda had gone to parliament of religions and he had made waves in America, he was in news everywhere, so they didn't like it, that he's having impact in the West. So they went on abusing Hindu way of life and the Hindu gods, they started saying all kinds of things. So Vivekananda told them, see, this is not necessary, you leave it, you're going to do your work, I'm doing my work, just leave it. But they wouldn't listen, they went on. So Vivekananda walked up, he was built well, strong. He held this missionary by his collar, lifted him up and said, you stop this rubbish or I'll throw you overboard. And he stopped. So, action in the world is as it's necessary. We will never get abusive like them. The sarcasm is needed, huh? Otherwise what you eat, just rice sambar can you eat? You need some pickle on the side sometimes. Hello? And even somebody like Mahatma Gandhi, who's considered the apostle of peace, who walks like this, he is full of sarcasm when he needs to. When somebody asked him, this is a British era here, when they were doing terrible things to this country. So they asked, what do you think about Western civilization? When he was in London. He went for that meeting, whatever that round table meeting. I said, what do you think about Western civilization? Mahatma Gandhi said, it's a good idea. So, congratulations, Ma, you're making me happy. And if somebody is going crazy about it, it's their choice. people who don't have a life of their own, they live on Twitter. What a place to live. You express something on the Twitter, it's different. Now it's not about what you have said, they are not countering what you say, they're against your existence. They don't want us to exist. They're not countering a certain idea that we have put forth and they have something else to say, it's perfectly okay. They are not countering anything that you say. Whatever you say, they will abuse you. Whatever you say, they will abuse you. Because they don't want you to exist. Because I want you to know, our very existence is dissolving their existence. That's it. All these people who are living in this country like leeches, sucking blood off this nation, they don't like it. They don't like it if human beings become more conscious, more aware, stand up for themselves, they don't like it. They would like the country to be poor, they would like the country to be ignorant, so they could always do what they were doing for all these years. So, if a leech is unhappy, I'm happy. It's okay. Maybe I will start looking at the Isha Foundation's tweets from now on if you're going to provide such excitement. But as I said, never ever use abusive words as they are doing. Because we are not against their existence, we are only against what they're doing. If they're against what we are doing, they must point out what we are doing wrong. But they are against our existence, simply abuse. So it's all right. And if any of you are getting a little hyper on this, please relax. This is the nature of Indian spirituality, this is not a wimpy spirituality. This is standing up for life. For what matters, we will stand up and do what we have to do. Please. Oh. I think we're going offline. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful year coming up. Well, the virus challenge may not simply disappear. Those of you who are thinking that this vaccination is some kind of a magic wand, it won't work like that. It will enhance our ability to resist this to some extent. There are many complexities about it, I don't want to go into it. But do not think there is a magic wand somewhere, somebody is going to wave it and it's all going to be gone. No. Your conscious and responsible behavior is going to be vital in 2021. So, let's have a responsible, very responsible and conscious year coming up. If you do this consciousness not just for the virus, for yourself, you learn to be conscious and responsible being, it will do wonders to you. Other activity, to some extent it may suffer, it will improve probably after 6-7 months, but till then things may suffer a little bit. But the important thing is, when activity goes down, you must take time to enhance yourself. Use this 2021 as a year of enhancement of you as a being, as you as a life. May you have a glorious year in front of you. Namaskaram. Oh, the song. There is a New Year song, please. What happened? Look guys. Enough of me management. Please, please. Don't go away, our Sounds of Isha has prepared a song for the New Year. Please, those of you who are online, please stay with us.
सुशीलं कुटुम्बं सुगौरवं कार्यं प्रयोगं तु किं पश्चात् स्वदेहं पश्चात् स्वचित्तं निर्वाणमार्गं तव पादारविन्दे निर्वाणमार्गं तव पादारविन्दे निर्वाणमार्गं तव
This kind. Well, so